Mic check. Yep, it looks like it's working. We're going to start in just 1 second, people. Hey, yo, it's your boy Kaliko. How you doing? There's probably nobody in the room while I'm saying this, but if there, oh, wait, hey, Margaret, how you doing? As soon as I'm saying that, Margaret pops up with a hiya. Well, thanks for being here, Margaret. So this is an impromptu. I'm not going to be able to do a video tonight, and I'm not going to be able to edit any video today. So I wanted to work a little bit more on this stone so I could put something up. And once again, when the stone totally dries out is when you really see some imperfections going on. So I'm just going to jump right into it. If anybody else shows up in the room, make sure you say hi and type something on the screen so I can see you and know you're here. I should have typed that like I would do when I was live streaming just using the YouTube app. But now that I'm using the app I'm using here, it doesn't give me the ability to interact with you guys live. I'd have to like open it up on my phone or something like that and then do it. But I do have the ability to run, multiple screens and scenes and stuff like that, which is cool in and of itself. Uh-oh, I just opened something on a misclick. All right. Alrighty. So, the spot I am at on this stone there we go, can be a little bit deceiving. What I mean by a little bit deceiving is that you can see that the color is almost right there on top, but anytime that it's wet, some of the imperfections tend to disappear. So some of the imperfections that I thought I'd gotten rid of are still there. And when you're looking at it with a layer of water on it, it can really magnify the color below, and sometimes you'll miss how much brown you still have on top or bronze. And so I do have another layer of bronze I should go through to get down to the better color with probably a 600 hardware. And also there's a bunch of imperfection areas, as you can see here, right here, the little divot and the stipple. And that divot was from a white spot, and I went directly down into it with a point, and I don't have the ability to, I'm probably not going to be able to get that perfectly polished unless I use a toothpick or something like that. And the color's not so great right there on the edge. So actually what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to make a little path coming this way and sort of make it a channel so that the light will play off of it better than if it's a divot. I've noticed with fire agate that when all of the shiny parts are sort of facing in, it takes away from the color that's there, because of the way the light doesn't roll off of it. It sort of reflects all back at each other. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go after better color on this knob right here, because I believe it's there. That really bright green was the first super bright gemmy green that told me that it was in this stone. Well, besides what's down there. So I'm going to cut that section right there. And I'm really not worried about this over here anymore since it broke, especially. I'm just going to trim that off at some point. Sorry about that. My hands drift off the screen a little bit. With this extreme close-up and its reverse, that's a much better shot. So for anybody paying attention or trying to learn something from me while I'm doing it, not that I'm the greatest to be teaching anybody, because I'm not. I'm still learning as I go. like I said, the fire agate can sort of make me neurotic. Let me back my magnifier up just a little bit. And I'm going to, whoops, I did not mean to make that mark there. I'm going to mark up right where the scratches are that seem to be a little bit too deep, and also the white divot so that I know when I'm actually getting it. And any other little spots I can see that I sort of want to make sure that I address so that I don't have to wait for the stone to dry up again. Now, I'm going to be a little bit redundant because most of this area I'm going to end up going over it anyways because it's not quite as bright as I'd like it to be. Whoops, but it's really getting close in this area. And also, just to make sure, I mean, I can see, whoops, make sure I'm on camera for you guys and not just in my magnifying glass. There we go, perfect. So you can see these layers that are all running back here, and usually your color bars are going to run in those layers because the color bars run in the iron lines. So typically your color bars are going to run somewhere in those layers. Not that every layer is going to have a good color in it or anything like that. So also in this area, I can see that these are sort of cracked and broken. And so since it's cracked and broken right there, I'm going to use this as sort of a tattletale. And I'm going to carve through that rather aggressively, seeing if I can drag that green color over to where the nub is that has the orange and green on top. But there's just too much of a coppery orange with this knob right here, even when it's fully polished. I just don't really like it quite as much as I would really like it if it came out to be that green or purple, either one. But really, I think the green is the super dominant color that's going on in this stone. And you couldn't see what I was doing right there. I was drawing these two dots and this line right here. Just area I want to pay some special attention to, make sure that I get the little imperfections there properly. Anything I can see, even if it's just two little ones. I mean, honestly, they would probably go away with the soft 600, but if I can make it good now, then I don't have to worry about it on the next stages. I really like to make everything as good as I can at this point. Oops, I'm not on screen. There we go. Hoopstar, how are you doing? It's evening in Finland. Thank you for stopping in, my friend from Finland. That gives me one really good reason for doing this at this time. I thought I might be able to reach some people that are normally not around or not available when I'm typically doing this sort of thing. And let me back that camera up just a hair real quick. The pieces I told you guys about on the last live stream. Where is it? Get my magnifier out of the way. So the piece I told you guys about on the last live stream got here, and it looks exactly like the piece I had before. No different. The box didn't look any different. I bought 2 of them. They're not going to last long. I really should have bought 10. You can barely hear me? Can you still barely hear me? Everything shows that it's playing properly on my screen. How about you, Hoopstar? Let me see how many people are in the room. No, I don't want you to. Thank you, IRV. No, I'm fine now. All right, it was probably when I moved my face away from the mic that'll happen. So anyways, yeah, these are not going to last on Amazon long for $15. So I would totally grab them up. I only grabbed 2. I wish I would have grabbed everything everyone they had, in all honesty. It's at that price, it's worth sitting on them for a number of years. Because they do rust out if you're working with hard water like I am in the area I'm at. But $15 can't beat it for a quick release. So these got here. I don't know how somebody's selling that and actually making anything off of it on Amazon. That's a bit crazy to me. And yeah, I'm not going to be selling on Amazon anymore. I was thinking about making a video about that, man. Dude, Amazon, jeez. Either I'm not doing it right or it just sucks. All right, I'm going to go with my larger bullet at this point. Oh, I had also told you guys that I had bought a $6 hook for the 4-drum to be hung from a table. Don't buy it. It's absolute garbage. It's worth about $6. You know, I thought it was going to be a steal of a deal like this thing is, but it's not a steal of a deal. It's a total waste of money. So find some other way to hang it, but don't buy that crap, basically, is what I'm saying. Something like that. All right, I generally have my stone marked up, and I want to get it as close to finished as possible. And once that water hits it, it already looks better. You know what I mean? Like it covers up a whole ton of the imperfections. Yeah, I moved away from the mic that time. It covers up a whole ton of the imperfections. I will be buying a miking system as soon as I possibly can. I tell you what, one of you guys buys all the stones I got inside of my store right now, and I'll buy a miking system for like $300, like the Rhodes system. Then I'll have wireless mic, and we won't have to worry about me moving away from it. Although, I mean, I guess I could sell the mic system I have now, but this thing is like ultra dependable, man. It's like professional grade. And now I went from it only dripping a little bit to not dripping at all. You're going to have to bear with me while I get myself positioned just right to sort of have the shot and me working inside of the shot. So there's like the shot. Alrighty then. I think we are right about there. If it would just want to stay focused for me. Alrighty then. Well, let's go ahead and deal with the easy one first. Oh, I didn't plug it in. Apparently I didn't plug it in. Oh, I plugged it in. I just didn't turn it on. 4-drum SR series. Has forward and reverse. I'm not even sure the other one even has a power button on it. I think you just plug it in and hit the pedal. Anyways, all right, let me get myself situated again. And if I get myself situated just right, you guys will basically see everything I'm doing as I'm doing it really close up. So we'll start with some of the easy markings. Now, I just marked it with a Sharpie, right? The Sharpie's going to go away really fast, so you just got to make sure that you actually work the area enough to actually sand or grind it down the way you wanted it to be. Sort of kind of remembering why you marked that area like that. Was it a divot or a stipple, or are you changing the shape? I'm off screen, aren't I? I need to back it up just a little bit. I wasn't going to sell the one I have, Margaret. I was just saying that I should have bought more. At that price, like, I'm obviously not expecting them to do anything about it if it gets damaged or something, or even user error. Well, obviously they won't do anything about a user error, but what the heck just happened? Oh, uh-oh, it's falling down. I might just have to take the other one off the wall. Yeah, the hook thing that I bought for $6 is absolute garbage. I mean, I might just keep it so that I can remanufacture something better out of it. I mean, it would be stable if maybe I like JB welded the arms together at the height I wanted it to, and then put a new bracket on the bottom and just use the hardware there. Possibly might be worth the $6 because you know hardware is super expensive nowadays. Go out buy a couple of screws, it costs you $6. It seems like. Oh, that didn't work. That was bad. It just fell off the wall. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to figure out a hanger real quick. Okay. I'm hoping this thing I have works because I about broke my finger getting it. Oh, hey, a catfish. I actually didn't expect almost any of my regulars to stop in. All right, let's see if this works better. Oh, well, this thing dances all over the wall when it's being used, unlike the other one definitely didn't do that. When I first turn it on, it jumps, so if the button is facing the wall, it turns itself off. I think my solution is fixed, though. Oh, except for everything else is falling apart on me. Dang it, man. My mic stand just fell apart on me. I'm having one of those moments. Let me put it on so you guys can see what I'm going through, though. That'll help. At least, you guys won't be looking at it dripping. Hiya, people. So you see that thing? Watch it jump on the back of the wall. All right, this thing's about to be fixed, I think. Nope. Hello, Stainless Trails. It's an interesting name. Oh, well, I see why that happened. I put a clip that moved the board that the mic stand was tightened to. Hey, thanks for the like, Resort Dog. Appreciate that, buddy. How's it going out there? What's the temperatures in Denio out there in the Virgin Valley? All right. That should stay there. I think I'm ready to go now. Except for when the thing starts leaking on me. I might just have to take my damn shirt off and cover it up. I don't have any other. Oh, I know what to grab. I see it's something. Hold on. Okay. All of that out of the way, I think. Gee, goodness. Except I totally ran into the camera, so now the camera angle is probably totally off. It's one thing about standing up right here. I bump my head on the camera all the time. Nope, camera angle seems to be great. It's like dragging on my wrist, turning away I don't like. To get the proper angle on it sometimes so it's not like breaking my wrist, I have to turn the stone away to where I can't even really see it. And I know you guys can't see it either when I'm doing that stuff, unfortunately. Sure is looking prettier and prettier, though. Oh, that top section, though, I'm going to have to go at it with something more aggressive. I should probably stop on this area just in case I accidentally bump it. I'm not going to bump it because I'm not going to use too much pressure at all on that other area. I'm just going to use I'm going to use like a 220 on it. I'm not going to go to like an 80 or anything. That's too aggressive. And I'm going to wipe out that green right here and that orange. I mean, there looks to be some red in there, but it's so bright orange. And I'm going to go for that emerald right there. I missed what he said about not having a new handpiece that's scrolling too fast. Kids, what are you going to do? So much more interested in being a grower than a creator. I'm not sure what's going on with that conversation. Yeah, totally. I'll bet. I imagine you do. You probably just need to start a rock shop out there. What's the possibilities of doing that on your claim at least during the season? Like, well, I guess both. Gosh, why am I forgetting his name now? Oh my goodness. Well, there's two rock shops out there now that I think about it, so it's not like the possibility is not there. Peacock and then Scott's. Gosh, I almost called him Shane for some reason. But anyways, I'm going to get something a little bit more aggressive and go through these light colors right here and try to expose more stuff that's like that right there, because we all know that that's a winner. Yay, the quick release. Oh, you are listed on Google as a shop. Nice. That definitely. Went good. He bought over a year ago. Wenzel, I can't be good at boy and do it. I don't know what you're talking about with Wenzel. Lakeview moved to across from the fairgrounds, and Outlaw is open too. Outlaw is Wenzel, right? Or is Outlaw a different group or name? Yeah, but I mean, nobody really goes to either one of those as an actual rock shop because the Peacock is, their prices are fucking crazy. You would think that they were selling Australian opal, and and what's his name? He's not really friendly to be like a rock shop or anything like that. I mean, he'll sell you some of his pieces in there, but in general, that stuff sells to people that go there to dig. All right, I'm ready to carve again. I should put it back. Trying to make it to where you guys aren't just looking at like dead space. Here we go. So now I'm going to go and see if I can get better color right here. And especially since I'm working around all of this other really top grade color, the one thing I really don't want to do is use any real pressure. You know, I want to make sure I have total control of my burr, because if I slip and go into there and then lose all that great color, I mean, what was the point? I'm really worried about hitting those spots too, to tell you the truth. I'm also worried about losing the shape, and I can already see the green is popping through. Didn't realize my fingers were in the way. Sorry, guys. See that little flake that just flaked away? There's a, right where that flake was is bright green. It's not showing for you guys. It's totally bright green right there. I know I'm making the right move after that little piece just flecked off and oh, I'm losing focus, huh? Let me fix that. Oh, I'm not on screen again. I really hate cutting through red, man. But that copper underneath of it is just making it too orange. Oh, not on screen anymore. Look. Just reading what you guys are talking about real quick, making sure I didn't miss anything too major. Oh, that was dumb. That's right. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go over that with anything more than a 600 right there. Oh, dang it. And I already went and touched it. Went and touched the good stuff. It's not white, is it? I feel like I have a little piece of white showing up right there, which I would hate. Exactly what it looks like to me. Magnifier. Let's grab out my magnifier. All right. That's not going to work. Whatever. I almost thought I could get it to work. It's because I can't figure out the angle right. Anyways. Getting close, but I'm not quite there, so that scratch shouldn't matter too much. Not sure about that white. I think to get that, though, I'm going to have to pull out a different shape. It looks like a job for the inverted cone, to tell you the truth. And just keep going for it and then trust in the layers. There are a lot of layers. You definitely see the green underneath that. Yeah, I'm going to trust myself to get underneath that bright coppery orange red. I'm just going to keep going. Oh, dang it. That just screwed everything up. How far is it off now? It's way off. Shoot. Oh. All right. Well, it's a crapshoot. You know, sometimes your best color is that color, or sometimes, you know, you'll have a tip like this and you'll take that color off the top and it'll just be a black hole underneath there, and you'll never get another color underneath of it. It does happen like that sometimes. But for me, I'm thinking that this stone's going to be a gift to a friend anyways that I've owed, you know, a favor to for a long time. And I want to send him something that's phenomenal. And that stone right there is pretty fucking phenomenal. So even if I end up losing, you know, the very tip of this, I'm not too worried about it. I would rather it be all fantastic instead of some of it sort of being, you know, sort of there, sort of great colors, sort of not. So I'm just going to trust the stone and the fact that there's this color running down the sides over here in a thin line just really sort of make me believe in this stone. So goodbye, really cool red and green tip. Although that green, I'm always worried that green is poking out underneath of the copper that's in between it, the iron line. All right, well, I got that bronze that was right underneath of it out now. At least of that nub. I haven't gone for the tip nub that has that red and green peeking out right there yet. I figure I'm going to keep on drawing on this one and keep that shape going and start to get it to bring out this, which is supposed to be right underneath that if everything's going the same, which I'm positive it is. Here's super great green color. Come on out. And it is starting to. Yep. Oh, I'm not on screen. There we go. That's the nub I've been working. Right there. Right above the thumbnail. That green is definitely there, even if the purple is not. It's totally going to match up on the same color bar and be that really great color. So I absolutely believe in it now. Like, just absolutely. I have no question in my mind that that is fully there. Woohoo, look at that. It just popped out. See that? That's pretty. A picture's worth. Yo, yo, yo. Justin and Ryan. 3-piece and hater? Question mark. Mama Bear, Shay, Tracy Keaton, you didn't get this opal in Tucson, did you? This is not opal if you're talking to me. This is fire agate. And no, I did not get this in Tucson. I'm selling this type of fire agate in the rough on my Etsy page right now. But don't get me wrong. I'm not selling pieces I know are going to turn out like this for 35 bucks. It's just not happening. But if you buy a pack of 100 or 250, you're going to get pieces that turn out like this, guaranteed, no question. That's why I don't just sell a whole bunch of small stones. I want to sell you a pack of stones where I know you're going to be happy. If you put the time into them, you're going to be happy with what you get. Okay, enough about me. Back onto the rock. Oh, and if you said, oh, wonderful, so you were talking to me when you said that opal. Yes. Now, the difference between fire agate and opal is, well, they're different. One of them's an agate. The other one is not as hard. But the main thing for me is that when you put this into a piece of jewelry, you can wear it daily. Like, it might need another little brush up on the polish after a long period of time, but in general, it's not as sensitive as opal. Because if you have opals in rings and stuff like that, the last thing you want to do is wear that as daily wear. It should be like a special wear only. Because otherwise, they'll just ruin them. They'll just go away. So isn't this camera setup great? I mean, yeah, there's some times where I'm not on camera because I'm totally missing where it's supposed to be at. But besides that, the color and the shot and what you guys get to see, man, doing this over the head cam. The only reason I can do this is because I'm in a house where the owners of the house are literally just the financing place, or they're a company that just buys places to rent them and sells other people's stuff, a realty agency. And they did not care about fixing this roof when they called in a contractor. Like, they didn't care about fixing the ceiling, so I told them not to. So when I had the idea of putting stuff in the ceiling, I was looking at it with all the plaster already hung off, and all I did was kills it after the storm. I was like, oh, well, fuck. I could put as many nail holes in that as I want. And to tell you the truth, the whole house is a piece of crap. I made it way better being here. But being that I've been a homeowner before with my wife, you know, the best renter you can have is somebody that cares about your stuff the way they would care about their own. And you hope they would take care of their stuff, because there are people that don't know any better than just to ruin their own shit. Most of my people on this channel are not children. I'm not telling them anything they don't already know. Now I'm still half tempted to just leave that tiny nub on top. But I'm not going to. I'm scared that little green tip is a window through. You know what I mean? Like, maybe this copper ring is just... Oh, that's understandable, Mama Bear. Yeah, now is a good time to be buying opal. Actually, there's a lot of places where you can get some opal. Are you going to cut it yourself, or you need somebody to specialty cut it? Because it, usually, and I'm not sure how your opal ring was, but there are. It's very often that nice opal rings are specially made to fit the opal. You know, it's very often that they're not calibrated cut to fit generic pieces of jewelry. And I use generic not as like calling anybody's jewelry generic, but just that it would be a ring that could be sold at multiple stores because the design is used a lot. You know what I mean? I mean, like the majority of rings that hold faceted stones. All right, no question. It's underneath of it. I just hate to take it off. I know it's not looking great yet. It will. There was that little layer of white on top of every other section from there back. So it's still hazing that up, but it's going to look great once it comes to polish, once I get it there. It's the stone's going to be a uniform colored stone, which is, well, you know, I don't really care if the stone's uniform colored. I just care that the color is bright and great and fantastic and holy wow. And I think that is good enough to take it to the 600. How you like that, guys? Taking that nub off definitely helping. You can definitely see that it's a little bit like shaded. Not as bright as it can be quite yet. None of the sections really are. And I'm just going to leave that little bit of yellow and orange. Whoops, I'm not on the screen. I'm going to leave that little section right underneath the green and purple of that yellow and orange. It's the only one I'm going to leave there. Let me see what he's saying. Being in Atlanta, Georgia, and disabled, I can't get to these places. I love shopping Mexican fire agate sellers who also sell opals just to be high grading the thousands of finished stones. Yeah, I'll bet you. If I would have known then what I know now, you know that saying, right? The first time I went shopping for fire agate at the shows between Tucson and what's the other one? I forget the name of it. The little town right there, right before Tucson. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's like the week before Tucson or a couple weeks before Tucson. Man, there's so many other things I would have bought there, knowing now, you know, if I would have known. But I didn't, and I know now. This stone is about to be fantastic, though. We're about to finish prepping this one out, and it's going to be ready for polish here in just a second. But I'm going to put on my Be Right Back screen just for a second because I have to go to the little girls' room where I'm going to potty my panties. Obviously, I don't have a little girls' room. My bathroom is obviously transgender. All right, I'm back. That didn't take very long, did it? And that lets us know how much better this stone looks than... Shows us how much better this stone looks than it did a second ago. Oops, wrong thing. Because now I can't see. Oh, yeah. Why isn't it? There it is. For some reason, when I went here a second ago, it didn't show me your guys' messages, what you guys are saying. Call Stan at the Creative Gems in California. He's the president of the American Opal Association, also has a custom business, and is very experienced and reasonably priced. Listen to Resort Dog, people. He knows what he's talking about. This dude's not going to tell you something like that in bad faith. Trust me on that one. Good afternoon, Modern Prospector. All right, so here's where we are in this. I just took that nub off of here, and by looking at the green that's underneath, whoops, I forgot to switch the angles. By looking at the green that's underneath, I'm super happy with that decision. There's only a couple little areas that have any really bronze, and it's not super bright yet. I am going to hit this with a 600 and hit a couple of these areas, and I'm going to go at that divot a little bit. I might draw a line like I'd originally planned with that divot going that direction so that it's not a divot in the color in it. It would rather be a channel, because a channel, the color, the light tends to play off a channel better in fire agate than it does a divot, I've noticed. So... No, I want to go out and go rock hunting. I'm about ready just to like have no money, pay up my rent as much as I can, have my wife take my cats and go hitchhiking. I have all these ideas that I could bring money in if I would just get these ideas fully off the ground by themselves, and I would never have to worry about the funds to hunt rocks again. But dedicating myself to those ideas without guarantee of income is always difficult for me. So I divide myself to try and make sure, you know, things are going to happen good and proper. Where's my other 600? Oh, that's a bad thing. I must have put my 600 bullet in the wrong... Oh, no, there it is. I was blind. I was looking right at it. Alrighty. Yeah, any of my regulars that weren't here earlier, the quick release $15 products showed up. They were awesome. I only bought 2. I wish I would have bought all of them. You should buy some also. All right, now this is a little bit hazy, and it's got just a little bit of copper here and there on it, so I'm going to get that off and face it a little bit better. I've already gone over most of my problem areas that I had. Don't forget, guys, that there is some fire agate up for sale in my store right now. There should be a link in the description. And it's all good fire agate. It's all stuff that's either been windowed or is showing pieces on it, or is showing color bars on it. And just one piece carved well should pay for the whole lot easily. And don't let people lowball you too much, because there's a lot of people trying to lowball the fire agate community at this point in time, I've noticed. Don't listen. The price of fire agate is actually going up at the moment. but everybody wants something for a deal. But I promise you that the lowest market is eBay. eBay is absolutely the bottom of the market, and stuff is selling for much more on eBay now than it has in recent years, like much more. People are giving fire agate its due when they see it inside of a piece of gold, and it's a real gem quality piece of fire agate, not a, you know, a mediocre piece of fire agate or just an okay piece of fire agate. Yeah, I really did like the way that that red had a little green eye in it and everything, but that non-stop show-stopping color from all angles, all it needs is the light touching it and you can see it no matter which direction it is. That's just way better. It's way better to have that color than to have a really bright color but is very directional. Those two little white dots are just white dots of agate. I'll just leave them there and then get them when I'm polishing, because I've found trying to get just a little hair's mark of white agate out of the agate will end up losing so much color that if I just would have polished it and not been able to polish that piece out, I just would have left it. Modern Prospector says he was seeing decent pieces of carved Mexican fire agate for $25 a couple of years ago, and now the same pieces are worth $100. Carved, man, I mean, I wouldn't hand carve a piece of fire agate for $100. Well, that's not really true. It depends on how easy the carving is, because I'm pretty sure that I have a piece inside of my store that's selling for $80 that is it was not carved so much as it was already like that, and it was polished. I pretty much polished what was already on that stone, and I'm 99% sure that if I go and actually grind underneath that top color, that this is going to be underneath of it, and it's already preformed and stuff. So I've been thinking about pulling that stone and doing that with it, to tell you the truth. Not that I have, but it's been a consideration. Now here I have a little bit of an issue, I think. I'm worried that that edge right there, I'm going to zoom in on it after I get my magnifier. That has the look like maybe I went through the green right there. Which if I did, I don't want to keep working it, because then I would just keep going through more and more green. Yep, I'm right. I did go through the green right there and into a little bit of a bronze, and then there's a little bit of a yellow underneath of it, and it's right on that edge. So I don't want to work that edge too much more if I can help it, just maybe to get tool marks out. Am I still on camera? Yeah, I am. Yeah, that's I understand that thought process, Resort Dog, about not shaping something because you love the beauty of it natural. And at the same time, once you go like talking about gold and high end and stuff like that, and the amount of work that it takes, and that it's actually more of an artist's skill than just a. But I totally get that thought process. I'm sort of there. That's fine. I'm not even going to worry about that little edge right there. It's no big deal. There's so much other color going on around it. That's what I'm going to worry about. I'm going to dry this off real quick. I think I am almost there. Yeah, dry that off. Yep, couple little white marks. I do not believe they are scratches, though. I believe that's white agate, and I really don't want to lose the color I have going on for a stitch of white agate on top of the color. I've done that before. Oh, and there's still a drop of definitely a divot I didn't quite get. You can see that little pen mark right there and right there. So I got two divots that I still need to get. Man, the rest of that is so right on the color right there. What to do, what to do? I'm going to lose most of that because that's all broken. I am going to put on my really small flame tip, and I am going to get at some of the creases. And getting at some of those creases, I'm also going to get at some of these divots with it, and that'll help me decide if I'm almost ready for polish or not. There's literally only a couple of more things before I'm ready to go to my soft burrs, which I mean, I guess is actually considered pre-polish. This is still the carving, grinding, sanding stage. The next one would be pre-polish with my soft burrs, and then polish would be, you know, the actual final stages, you know, final couple stages is polish. Oh, didn't want to go that way. Well, I think that one works right there. And then this one. I'm off camera. Sorry, now I'm holding it too high. Usually I'm holding it too low. Gem Rough is popular now. Lab Ruby second shards are a knockout but expensive. The problem is a natural stone have. Well, I tried seeing what you guys were talking about, but I have no freaking idea. I'm just confused by it, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Private conversation. I'll see my way out, as the saying may go. Man. What if there's even a better color, though, is almost what I'm starting to feel like. Well, that side tip is definitely looking good right there. That makes me think about just that little, maybe I should just keep on grinding on that little spot right there. Maybe it'll turn purple. That one? Maybe if I grind on that, it'll turn purple. Appreciate that, Resort Dog. Thank you. Read it later, right? I'll read it later. I'm actually doing this video right now so I can get out of here earlier and go out and hopefully make some more money, bring some other cash in. If not, then it'll only be wasting a couple $100, but ooh, I think that one's really close to gone. How about this one now? Like in the cracks, I'm just going for it because it's like the one area that if you have a little bit of black, it's really not going to matter much. But every time I just go ahead and keep poking at that bronze, man, I get that green underneath. So might as well do it. Remember, guys, the more curves and undulations and tight spaces that a stone has that have the really bright colors in, the more value that stone should carry when it comes to fire agate, because the amount of time and expense on carving these little tiny cracks in here to get that gem color to pop out. And when I say expense, because a small burr like this costs just as much as a big burr with way more, diamond on the tip. You would think something that's a quarter of the size would cost a quarter as much, but it's not how it works. These tools basically start at about 28 bucks a piece. And I could use the money from selling this stone, but I think I'd much rather give it to the dude that I should have given one to a long time ago. And I think I found the end. Well, that lets me know what I needed to know. Yep, I'm not going below that hardcore bronze because it does not look like there's any color underneath that hardcore bronze. So that tells me what I want to know about that edge. I'm going to leave that edge alone right there. I'm still surprised that this little bit of copper right here has not turned into purple or green. I've worked on it a lot. I'm going to dry this stone off real quick, give it a gander, because I think I am close. I think I'm super duper close to being pre-polish, ready for pre-polish. And before I take it to pre-polish, though, I'm going to trim the stone. You don't want to waste your burrs on having to dig around sharp edges and stuff like that. So before you take your fire agate and actually go using your soft burrs and doing pre-polish stages, you should just go ahead and shape it. You know where your color is going to be, so you don't want any of these sharp edges that you don't want to work around. You just go ahead and shape and dop your stone. It's going to work better for you at the end. And I do have that little channel there, so it's not a divot anymore. And you can see that the way that the light plays off of it too, you can totally see that the light sort of streams down of it instead of sort of radiating everywhere. The light goes in and bounces and then comes out of the channel. So when the stone is actually going to have a polish on it, it'll help with the color. Although I think I'm probably going to cut that bottom section of the stone right there. This is going to be gone. I think that's going to be gone. So I think that this is going to be the stone, what you're seeing in between my fingers. Beautiful purple and green. High class, baby. And besides that, I do think that it's ready for pre-polish. Like I said when I started this stream, you will, when you're working stones, even when you look at it like this, you know, you've dried it off with a towel and stuff, and you think it's all great, and you've been working a bunch on it, set it down. Don't come back and look at it 4 hours later or in the morning, because you're going to notice things that you might want to go over it one more time right before you do pre-polish. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You will see things you might have missed, and the newer you are to carving fire agate, the more you're going to want to tell yourself in the heat of the moment, it's okay, it's ready to go. And then when you come back with a cooler mind, you're going to have a discerning eye, and you'll be like, no, I got to fix this, I got to fix that, I'm not happy with this. And in general, I can see a little mark that's right here. Let me zoom in some. Oops. So you can see a little mark that's right there. Can also see, which I didn't see before, is that little white line right there. But I'm not going to worry about that. I think that I want to follow the color. So as I'm polishing it, if it looks like it needs a little trim on that one section, then I will go ahead and do it. But when I go ahead and trim this stone down and make it flat, and then when I go over the stone with my Nova points or with my Diashine Diathin discs, I will round out a lot of those sharp angles, and some of those little white spots will go away. Once again, the color is what matters the most to me. Keeping all the color, I'll sacrifice and leave a little imperfection to keep a whole bunch of color, because to tell you the truth, previously I have sacrificed a whole lot of color trying to fix a small imperfection, so I don't want to do that anymore. Color's most important to me, and I do believe this is ready for pre-polish. I think everything else can be solved with soft burrs. Put a little bit of water on it so we can see it wet again. Alrighty, so how long have we been going this time? Hour and 40 minutes. That's about 2 hours each time. So I believe this stone probably has about 6 hours into it, and when it's totally done, it's probably going to be about 8. It's probably going to have a total of 8 hours into it, and that seems like a lot. And if you were going to sell it for $100, it would definitely be a lot of hours that you would have into it. But if you're going to sell it for what it's actually worth, it's going to be worth it. To me, I think when this is done, I'm looking at like an $800 stone as a finished stone. That's what I think the market is right now. If your mindset is 2 years ago, you might not see it as that. At the same time, for what I've been selling using eBay as the gauge, for what I've been seeing sell, and with the top color from all angles actually being there and purple, it's probably more like a $2,000 stone on eBay, to tell you the truth. But I'm like in the $800 range myself right now. That's what I'm thinking, if it comes out the way I think it's going to come out. Now, the real question for me in this stone is that my friend, I'm not sure if I should send him a fire agate he can just hang on a string and it might end up getting broken like one of mine did, or if I should send him a fire agate that needs to be put in a piece of jewelry. Actually, I think I should send him a fire agate that needs to be put in a piece of jewelry, because for his wife, I'm going to be sending her a sunstone that needs to be put in a piece of jewelry. So even if it's wrapped, you know, the reality is that the soft metal saves the stone. If you drop a pendant, it's the metal that hits the ground, not the stone, typically. You know, if you drop a ring, it's the metal that hits the ground, hopefully not the stone, typically. Because even a diamond will shatter if it falls, you know, face up on some concrete, like, you know, the bigger item type of deal. Anyways. Yeah, right. Resort dog. Imperfections are proof of authenticity. That's a fact. At the same time, I had a friend cut a whole bunch of my sunstones, and he left giant imperfections in all of them. And I would have rather had the perfect sunstones, because so far the best sunstone I had cut, I sold for like $600, and I've been kicking myself ever since I sold that, because it was worth way more than the $600 I sold it for. It was dumb. Like toast, the abrasive surface attracts the smallest point, right? Somebody is sending me some messages on my phone. I love y'all for watching. Thank you for being here. If you especially liked, you know, the live stream being at this time of the day, go ahead and say something in there. Let me know your thoughts and comments, especially on the video after it's been posted, because I do believe that the comments in the live stream are separate from the video after it's been posted. I might be wrong about that, but it takes about 30 minutes once I hit the end button for the actual video to be fully live on YouTube. So don't forget, go ahead and buy some of your $15 quick releases. If you grind while they are that price on Amazon, they're not going to stick around very long. And the reason this sort of stuff can happen, sometimes on Amazon, you're going to see stuff that's well below the going price. The reason is because if I'm selling stuff on Amazon, using me as an analogy, if I'm selling stuff on Amazon, you know what? Let's use this too. Let's say this is a case of 10,000 products. Let's say it's a case of 10,000 of these. And by looking at the analytics on Amazon, I think I'll sell 10,000 of these in a year. Now, Amazon has a price that they charge you for storing stuff in their warehouse. So if you do FBA and you send them 10,000 of those units, and they're selling each one of those units through Facebook, through FBA, anyways, fulfillment by Amazon. That's what FBA is. So Amazon's fulfilling the orders, and you sent them 10,000 of the items, right? So as the year goes up, as the year starts to tick away, at a certain period of time, the price they're charging you for holding this goes up exponentially, like literally exponentially. So if this gets over its sell date that you've had it inside their warehouse and it goes over too far, they'll charge you so much money that one item could, over a period of time, if you're not paying attention, cost you $10,000 to have it held in their warehouse because it's not selling. Because the longer the product doesn't sell, the more they charge the seller to hold the product, to it being way more than the product's even worth. So if the seller has the stuff in FBA, a lot of times instead of them having it sent to themselves, they'll just tell Amazon to scrap it or send it or sell it with their returns. So say that the person that was planning on selling these on Amazon put them in there for a while and they didn't sell. In order to lose less money, they will drop the price dramatically. So you might find a $100 item for sale on Amazon for $25 because it was inside FBA so long that it didn't sell. So if you find something that seems too good to be true on Amazon, buy it. I mean, because Amazon's a guarantee, right? Guaranteed you're going to get your money back if you don't like it with Amazon. Being a seller on Amazon, trust that, which I'm not going to be much longer, but that's for a different fucking story. Anyways, love y'all for being here. Thanks for checking it out. I hope this helped you, and I'm really glad that we saw that color bar run completely under the stone. The scare part is over. It's going to be a fantastic, amazing gemstone. Woohoo! Love y'all for watching, and I will see you guys possibly tomorrow, maybe not. We'll see. I'll try and have some sort of video up, but we'll see. Love y'all for